all love Taylor Swift music videos. This is emphasized by the fact that they are massively viewed and have been throughout her entire career. I was curious about this, so I asked a friend, Ruth, and she had some thoughts. The theory is that Taylor Swift music videos feel like dreams, i.e. escapism. Young women are drawn to these videos for the fact that they have a very cozy aesthetic. After all, Taylor is the original cottagecore, and the fact that they play out a desire for simplicity. Simplicity being married off at 16 and making no decisions for yourself. And this is appealing. Why? Because it's hard for women to make decisions. There's so much societal pressure and pesky men about. Young women are just being hit with all of it, all at once. To quote Ruth, "It's simpler to submit. We are very tired." This escapism theory explains the lanterns, dresses, and horses that popped into my mind whenever I thought of Taylor Swift music videos. But why have these videos maintained their appeal for so long? What does a Taylor Swift video consist of to make each one fit her brand and consistently popular for a near 15-year-long career? To understand this further, I developed an algorithm of things that might appear in nearly all of her videos. I also included a category called Extra to track anything I found significant about each video. I then decided to break her music video timeline into 3 categories. For the purposes of this video, I will be focusing on 2 of those categories, Taylor from 2006 to 2013, and Taylor in 2014 and 2020. I will be cutting out Taylor from 2015 to 2019 because frankly, she terrifies me. I then proceeded to watch every single music video Taylor Swift has ever made. The purpose of this exercise was to hopefully find a video that checks as many boxes as possible from my music video algorithm. So I have a handy chart here where I can display my findings. Along the top, I have all of my categories, and down the side, I have all of the videos that qualify. So I have my initial categories here. I have horses and lights. I then have categories for the inclusion of ball gowns, any old brick or stone, and a category which I called old stone, and plants. After revising my extra category, I came in with a few more stragglers. We've got deer, stairs, snow, cardigans, barefoot forest jaunts, fruit, and baby hipsters. Along the side here, I have all of the videos from the early Swift era, and down here I have all of the Swift videos that qualify from the modern era. Of each, there are 2 songs that present themselves as being the ultimate Taylor Swift music videos. Up here we've got Love Story, and then from the current Swift era, we've got Blank Space. I understand that Blank Space is not as current as, say, Cardigan or Willow, but the algorithm has spoken, and apparently that is the video that best represents her brand. Now, what do these videos have in common? Both of them have horses, lights, gowns, old stone, plant, they've got stairs, and they have fruit. No baby hipsters. Just wanted to talk about that, but that's okay. Now, what does all of this mean? First, I will start by addressing Love Story, the beautiful fever dream that feels like what would happen if Jane Austen directed a Disney movie. Let's start by talking about the random white horse in this video. Dreaming of a white horse can sometimes signify purity and peace. Purity and peace could explain the inclusion of the cherries, the fruit, or the white dresses in this video. The fruit we could link to the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, as this is a forbidden love story after all. And this fruit theory could also explain the images around purity and the themes around disruption of peace present in the video, but also the song itself. The candles and the lamps and the old stones, we could link to the comfort of traditionalism, but also just the general vibes. And the stairs could signify, a journey or a progress, spiritually or emotionally speaking. At the end of the video, Taylor runs down the stairs to marry her prince in a very classic rebellious princess move. Generally speaking, runaway princess brides occurred for, forbidden love or elopement purposes, and traditionally, objections to marriage, not all the time, but traditionally, occurred for financial or class reasons. This idea could link to the ideas in the songs that Swift's character is marrying below her socially dictated rank. Themes around marriage, but also purity and peace, could explain the white dresses worn by Swift's character throughout the entirety of this video. Moving on to Blank Blank Space, which feels like the antithesis for Love Story, even though they both possess the same qualities. Another interpretation of Dreaming of a White Horse can be death. We see two white horses in Swift's character's room, where she later stabs a cake and a bunch of blood pours out. This could hint at the death of something, perhaps a relationship, or our previous understanding of Swift herself as an unrealistic princess, which would make sense with this song. We see white horses again during a riding scene. I interpret this differently. I interpret this as a symbol for the extravagant facade of wealth, which would once again pertain to themes of false fronts in this video. Similarly, I think the lighting in the old stone is used to evoke a sense of wealth, which was also present in Love Story. There was also the inclusion of fruit in this video, specifically an apple, where Swift is wearing a black dress and exercising some sort of mystical control over a man. This makes Taylor Swift feel like a Disney villain, and it villainizes the power that she has over the men around her. Swift appears again in a black dress at the beginning and end of this video at the top of the stairs. Taylor does not run down the stairs in this video. It is implied that the men walk up the stairs to her. Again, this villainizes the power, as we are viewing her from the perspective of those she is looking down on. This plays with how we interpret powerful, wealthy women in relation to men. She is not vulnerable, she is manipulative. In Love Story, we see her run down the stairs, but she is never shot from below, like how she is in Blank Space. We view her from who she is looking down on, in this case men, which we have been trained to interpret as villainous or dangerous behavior from women. Similarly, this could also hint at the dangers of idealization or high expectations for unrealistic love. I need water, I am dying. And we're back. Okay. This awareness and reinterpretation of herself is why these videos have lasted, as it's playing out yet another reality for women in a different dreamlike way. Beyond discussing how it's hard for women to make decisions, Ruth had some other helpful insights to give about the actual action of making a decision. She said, I have never made a decision that is devoid of men. For instance, I dye my hair because I know guys won't like it, or I will wear something because I know a guy will like it. In both of these songs, Blank Space and Love Story, Swift is picking up on both the desire for simplicity and the reality of making decisions, with their simultaneous connection to men in different ways. Love Story and Blank Space read quite differently, with a possible interpretation of Love Story as the dream and Blank Space as the nightmare. I argue that Blank Space is not the nightmare. She retains control of the narrative the entire time, unlike Love Story, and she does so in a song that is entirely about other people's negative perceptions of her, which do in fact lay beyond her control. Thank you for your attention.